It's round 11 of the F1 Manager Career Mode with Ferrari. We're in Austria with moderate rain on the Friday, so I mean, if Friday's a washout, Kenny makes the first two practice sessions pretty irrelevant, but there is no sprint weekends here in this game, not that this was in real life, but I actually noticed that when we got to Imola in this, so I mean, you'd think a manager game would have everything pretty nailed down, but it doesn't. But we here in Austria, practice 1 and 2, like they're going to be wet. Well, it says moderate rain. I guess it could be one or other of the session. But we're going to simulate practice 1 last time. Another 1-2. 2 wet races, 2 1-2s back to back. We've took the lead of the championship again. Leclerc leads practice 1 for starting 9/1000ths of a second behind him. We've got Sainz and then Perez again. Gasly showing that he's got the pace in that AlphaTauri to mix it up at the top here. So, you know, the confidence from the setup isn't particularly great as we go in to this session, which I mean, still on the soft tyre, so you'd expect it not to be too bad as we try and adjust that for both of them. I mean, you need the confidence of the setup to be about 80% to have any fucking pace. Practice 2 results. Sainz on top for Verstappen, Perez, Leclerc. I mean, Leclerc 4 tenths behind. Says to me, yeah, there's a pretty big setup difference there, to be honest. 13% as we move on to Saturday. And it looks like it's going to be dry, so we need to find something with this Ferrari as we go into qualifying. Start qualifying here at Ferrari. We're going to need to step up for practice, I mean, because looks like Verstappen's got it in the bag yet again as both cars are heading out here. Ready to lay the smack down. We're going to see what they can do here. As Lewis Hamilton is in a big red sandwich. The big lefty, but let's go up to Carlos Sainz or Leclerc. Leclerc's further along his lap, as you can see. So the end of sector 1, I mean, we should probably be aiming for like a mid-3 or something along those lines. From Perez has a 4.5, so 4.1, it's no bad. And then Sainz 4 flat, so that's pretty good. Hamilton still can't, I mean, Perez is a massive way behind. Look at that man, Max weaving up the tyres. Let's see all about the madman. Session nearly over. I mean, they're both for that when we're through, so I don't really. Is anyone close to going out notable? I mean, Russell could go out, but nah, he's alright. I mean, Lando Norris could go out, but he's in a lot of free space for Guan Yu Zhou. Fuck yeah. Nah, so that's your. I mean, that is basically what the order was a lot at the start of the season. Gasly sitting P5, that's a pretty good lap. In front of Hamilton, not far off. Perez is. Sainz is fastest in Q1. Q2's results, Sainz on tops again. Leclerc did his lap on the mediums, saving a set of softs, so managed to get through. But Pierre Gasly, major lock-up. A guy who's looked like he'd been challenging for that third row of the grid is down in 12th. Both McLarens in behind him, Guan Yu Zhou then in behind him, but laps were noticeably a lot slower in that session. Well, for some of the drivers, the Sainz did go, in fact, faster, but I mean, looks like Sainz has got the bit between his teeth and he wants to get another pole position. Gearbox work for Leclerc as he comes through the final corner. I mean, we're looking for a low 4, or if not, a high 3. It's a mid 4. I mean, I look like he did get held up by Perez, like, which is fucking shite. And I mean, there you have it. There you have it. Sainz does a low 4. It's just Leclerc's just no on the ball. As Verstappen does, I mean, it's Sainz, Verstappen, Hamilton, Leclerc, Alonso, Russell, Bottas, Tsunoda, Ocon, and Perez. But we're going to send out both Ferraris hopefully first. Perez comes out third. What we do not want is to get fucking held up on these laps. Right, Leclerc, let's see what you're capable, son. He needs to be at least getting third here with this lap. No real excuse for it. Perez down in 10th. It'd be brilliant to see him fucking up again, but I mean, he's in a lot of free space. Another driver locked up. I wonder who that would be. Like an Alfa Romeo is Leclerc. Sticks at P3 again. He just lacks a bit of fucking everything. It was Bottas that locked up. And now Carlos Sainz, hopefully to cement pole position through the final couple of corners. Doesn't improve, which is fucking no good to be honest. Perez goes across the line, sticks at P4, and Verstappen's the only guy really that's going to be challenging for pole position. So he goes around the final couple of corners. I mean, hopefully, this is the top three in the championship. In the top three, Alonso can't improve. Well, he does improve, but he can't improve position. As Verstappen, can he either? And that's basically guaranteed us front row of the grid. It's time for the Austrian Grand Prix. Pretty much everyone's starting on the medium, so it's going to be medium. It's a straightforward one-stopper race here, and that's pretty much as simple as it's going to get. But, you know, if we can get a 1-2, that will be the objective here. But mainly just survive the opening lap as Perez gets outdone by Lewis Hamilton there. And now, fucking hell, Leclerc, what's he going for? I mean, could we? Oh, we're going to turn Sainz up to deploy. And aggressive, get that DRS, and then we'll wait with Leclerc until he is within DRS on the next lap, right? Right, so turn that down to neutral, switch over to Leclerc, deploy, stick his tyres on aggressive, boom, right, so that's us. That should be us. Now, his DRS is deployed, Perez over the back of Hamilton, now Leclerc should blast past Max Verstappen here. Did the turn 3. Really should be simple as that, man. And it is, because Leclerc hangs it around the outside, but Verstappen, fuck me man, I've got a fucking debris. Getting ripped up there, but 2.3. Leclerc says he's ahead, using all that deployment, but he doesn't have the DRS. For fuck's sake. And Verstappen manages to stay ahead. Like Magnussen, Norris, Perez holding up Leclerc. It's going for a fucking disaster here. Carlos Sainz doesn't really know what the fuck he's doing, if we're being honest. Magnussen spun Sainz a bit off for starting. I mean, nah, fuck it, we'll bring him in. We'll bring Carlos Sainz in. Straight to the end. Leclerc's just fucking stuck like a duck. Oh no man, they've both pitted the same fucking lap as Alonso overtakes Verstappen, what? Hold on here. So, Fernando leads the race in the Alpine on the hard tyre. He's actually holding them fucking both up. Overtake mode. Charles Leclerc. Doing this straight, son. I mean, how the fuck? Well, I mean, Carlos Sainz, I mean, but how is Sainz got to go for that? And he's somehow, what's he doing? Back in the DRS of Verstappen, that's exactly what we like to see, but I mean, this whole gamble from fucking Charles Leclerc hasn't really worked. Going to have to do an extra stop, and then I'm 11 seconds behind. On lap 40, and as you can see, Danny Ricciardo and Yuki Tsunoda, sector 3. I'm not 100% sure what's happened here. We've paused the game, but we're going to get a replay pretty much. I bet you as soon as this goes on. Yep, here it is, replay. So we've got Tsunoda and Danny Rick battling, and they've just collided mid-corner. Actually, one of the most realistic crashes I've seen in this game. Usually it's just a lock-up, and then they just go straight into the back of them. But in that case, they tried to go side by side through a corner, and it didn't exactly work. Is that going to bring it? It has brought out the safety car, and that is a very interesting dynamic. Oh.
Stay positive. Copy.
We're going to pit Leclerc because he has to pit anyway, so he's got to pit for the hard tyre.
No
Wow, with Carlos Sainz, what tyres has he got left? He's got a fresh medium, fuck it. We're going to pit him for the fresh medium. Yeah, I mean, that has massively helped out Fernando Alonso. The main man himself there, riding the P3. He's just stayed out and he's still out. I mean, yes, Max is going to get the lead, but we're going to be on much fresher tyres. I mean, Red Bull surely must pit. No, Red Bull don't pit. Incredibly, Red Bull do not pit. And at this point, we have got Verstappen leading Sainz from Leclerc, from Fernando Alonso, from Bottas, from Perez, from Magnussen, from both Mercedes. Then it is Esteban Ocon, and I believe Yuki Tsunoda's apparently Daniel Ricciardo no longer in the race, no longer with us. Rear wing flew off to fuck, and they're not having it. Safety car in this lap, so we're going to go to Verstappen. I mean, we have a lap car in between. I mean, there's actually quite a few lap cars with Albon, Stroll, and Latifi. Tell you what, this could end in an absolute catastrophe through these couple of corners if a driver goes before. But as you can see, let's see how it's going to go. Max has a 6/10 lead for Sainz and 9/10 back. Oh my god, there's weaving down the straight. Alonso's trying to defend his 4th place. That nearly ended in an absolute fucking colossal pile-up, if we're being honest. Jesus, man, that was mad. But 10 cars side by side. But come on, Carlos, you cannot afford to drop out of that DRS window. And I mean, Leclerc, mate, you're on hard tyres as well, so you can afford to push. Let's get back in the fucking window here, guys. And as you can see, Sainz in the DRS. I mean, fresh set of mediums. Surely Carlos Sainz is going to get this job done. Here, as Bottas moves up to P4, overtaking Alonso. Perez is fucking dropped in, man. What is Perez all about? Perez is shite. But Sainz, 4/10 behind. Has he got him? Yes. Carlos Sainz has got Max Verstappen. And if you look at the tyres, I mean, I say that about the tyres, but Max is on 83. I mean, they're 9 worse off than ours. I mean, it's not exactly a groundbreaking level. As Fernando gets back up into P4. Carlos Sainz does the fastest lap, but Verstappen just tries one round the outside. And because these two are just getting constant DRS, Leclerc can't defend. Leclerc literally just can't defend against them, which I think's a bit... Well, I say defend, he just can't attack them. I mean, they're dragging each other along. And Leclerc's just going to have to settle for P3 at this rate, which is disappointing, like at this stage of the Grand Prix, having to settle for that, but it is what it is. As Magnussen's holding up Perez, Russell, and all that malarkey back there, but yep, Verstappen retakes the lead. And Alonso has locked up, thrown away a potential P4. You'd be fucking raging, Fernando. What's he? I mean, he ended up in the Austrian fucking hills near Hitler's house. What's going on? Don't believe it. It's Kevin Magnussen pits. I mean, like, what? Mate, you're throwing away. I mean, it was looking like from a really mixed up result there, and then all of a sudden, you know, you've got Perez and the Mercs that have just come through all that chaos. Shite. I'll tell you what it's made of. It's made of hee-haw, because the man formerly known as Max Verstappen, well, he's still known as Max Verstappen, but he's going to fucking blast past this here. Because we're on board with Carlos Sainz. Verstappen in the DRS. Can he get close enough? No, he can't, and that is a crucial part of this. So we're going to put him back down to neutral, and hopefully at this rate, Sainz can harvest a bit of energy and pull away around the remainder of this lap. Is Leclerc, he's just not in this battle. Is Leclerc dropping at the championship fight? He may be at this rate, he may be. Verstappen overtaking Sainz there on lap 63. Leclerc's completely, at this stage of the Grand Prix, just dropped off. I mean, we may as well just stick, I mean, Leclerc's going to get to the end, stick him on attack, sure, and we'll put his fucking, we'll put it on harvest, hopefully he can get the fastest lap out of that. I mean, he's not going to get caught, he's not going to do any catching, only these two at the top are going to do a bit of catching. I mean, whoever's second going on to the last lap is going to win this race at this rate. That's how close it is. Verstappen in the DRS of Sainz here, not so many laps to go. He's not getting past. Right, but this is where you've got to put it to harvest. Round the corners where he can't get past you. Gotta be smart with this, guys. Gotta be smart. Is Leclerc? He's just on full deployment. I mean, I could probably just keep Leclerc on full deployment mode till the end. I mean, no one's going to catch him. His tyres are at 68, 69 even, and he's on attack mode. So, I mean, if he can take the fastest lap, that would be very good. Like, very, very good. But it is what it is. Now, as we go across the line, I mean, Leclerc's harvesting, but yet... No, Sainz is harvesting, but yet his energy's going down. It's not like he's gaining that much. Yes. And Verstappen get held up by Williams, who's just absolutely won it off the track there. I don't really know what he was doing. Where he yelled, oh, but now Sainz is slipped out. I thought he slipped out the DRS. He's still in it, and we'll get 3 laps to go as we go up the hill. Verstappen gets closer. He gets closer. He stays in it for the next one, and it looks like he's probably going to get me here. Or is he? It's the straight line speed of the Ferrari at this stage, man. Doing the numbers. Might be. Might be. Come on. Come on, guys. Sainz sets the fastest lap. Leclerc will be raging. But come on. Not many laps to go. We're going on to the second last lap. We're going to put Carlos Sainz in harvest mode. Let's harvest as much as we can. Going on to this last lap, because I don't even mind being behind. I mean, you'd rather probably be on first, but... Oh yes, and Sainz actually gets the DRS off the Aston Martin, which puts him quite... It's a second down the road, and let's put him on deploy. And push. Verstappen trying to get close. Sainz doing a good job now round the corner. If I can get out of a second here. Going on to the last lap. Surely, come on, we can push here. We're on push. On the fuel. We're on deploy. Let's just put it back down to neutral. We don't want a disaster happening here on the last lap. But it looks like Carlos Sainz has done a number on Max Verstappen here. 1.187, 1.2 as we go round to the first activation point on the last lap. But here it is. Surely Carlos Sainz, man. Unless it's like the greatest first and second sectors ever from Verstappen, it looks like he's going to get the job done. Gasly looks like he's sitting pretty well there in P5. Bottas and Alonso, I think they'll be disappointed with that. Fourth and fifth. Oh no. Charles Leclerc does a massive lock-up, but to be honest, it doesn't really matter. Apart from the fact he's fucking crashed on the last lap, it doesn't really matter. Why is his engine on fire? What? What is Charles? It doesn't really matter. And then it's like, it does matter actually, because he's fucking it. Oh my, that's Leclerc. Humped himself. Humped Ferrari, a good result. Looked like a double podium for Ferrari. Now it's a double podium for Red. I don't believe it, Leclerc. The guy is one crash happy bastard. I don't believe that. Oh my god. First retirement of the year for a Ferrari driver. And fuck, we look at... I mean, is the engine's already on fire there? But I don't know. I think Leclerc's just pish. Absolute shite show, man. What is that? Don't believe that. No wonder the team are devastated. I mean, if that was Sainz, like, I think Matteo Binotto would have probably hung himself. But it is what it is. Looks like Lando Norris then is going to be the final point scoring position. But he is actually, in fact... Is he? I think he will be, actually. He will be. He's pulled quite a gap through that yellow flag sector 1. But Carlos Sainz, doesn't matter. He goes across the line, wins the Austrian Grand Prix. Verstappen in second, Perez in third, Hamilton fourth, Gasly fifth, Bottas sixth, Russell seventh, Alonso eighth, Ocon ninth, and Norris 10th. Leclerc will finish P15, but it's a disaster. Near rear wing, near front wing, just bottles it in the last lap. Fucking mess. There's your results. I mean, Gasly going for 12th to 5th. Really good drive there for him. Load of decent point scoring there for Alpine. Alfa Romeo as well. We look at the drivers, and Leclerc has dropped a pretty big gap now back. I mean, it's still doable from the guy, but I mean, he's 31 points behind now. Or is it? No, he's more. He's 41 points behind. Jesus. Charles Leclerc, what are you doing? Honestly, like, I mean, it's shaftless in the drivers, no, in the constructors as well. I mean, albeit Red Bull only gained 7 points, but we would have gained a lot more on them, you know. That's what it is, but damn, not good, not good. Leclerc. Serious quite. I mean, if he continues this, like, Giovinazzi could be in with a fucking drive. Nah, I would bring in someone better. That's what it is, though.